All right. What's shaking, friends and folks? How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are all doing well. Let me make sure you guys are all live, ready to rock. All right, cool. So hey, I'm out here on the field today. So I'm on a site that we're doing. This is a commercial lot. So this is a great lot to put a car wash on. So I'm waiting on the site planner. So I figured I would jump on. You guys had some questions from yesterday's live, so I just wanted to answer those while I'm here, while I'm waiting. But one of the things, before I do, let me just tell you guys something. One of the things I talked about is making sure that whether it's a residential single family lot, whether it's if it's a house that you're flipping, which I'm not really big into, but if you're doing new construction, which I love, if you're doing commercial development, which I love, one of the main things I was telling you, make sure you get something that people want. Now look around here. This is a very busy road. It doesn't look that busy right now, but it's a very busy road. There's a lot of people traveling this road all the time. You see a McDonald's over there. You see a gas station over there. That gas station actually has a car wash. We don't care. We're putting one in there anyway. You see a Wendy's. You see a CVS. So you see a lot of action. And on the other side here is I-75, which is a major corridor. So this is an area that people want to be in. There's a lot of traffic they want to be in. A buyer's going to want to buy this because they're going to know they can make money with it. So I can't implore that enough to you guys to make sure that you're focusing on property that people want. And in areas that's popular, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of action, okay? Because forget about the price. I know you're going to see these cheap prices, and that's going to kind of be like a, like the shiny object to chase. Don't worry about prices. Go with where people can make money and people can do it. And if you have to pay a premium, so be it, because it's going to be worth it when you can sell it. If you have something you can't sell, it's not worth it. I'd rather pay more, flip it for more, make money, than have something that I can't even sell. Excuse me, I'm just gonna check my wire here. So one thing I will tell you though, so today I'm out here, I got a little environmental issue to check this out. So we got a lot of low wetlands. You're gonna get that on properties too. So you're gonna get these kind of wetlands, you're gonna get some things, so we're gonna figure out how we can mitigate it. We got a nice high and dry spot, so we can see if we can do some mitigating, see if we can do some cross retention with this, and then maybe share with some retention of some of these restaurants in the CVS that's next door. So those are some of the things that, when you're getting into this, you get site planners that come out and, they help you figure all that out with the engineers and with the city and all that. So that's what we're going to be, so that's some of the things that we're going to be doing with this. But anyway, so I digress. So just to give you guys that key point of distinction there, make sure you're focusing on properties that people want and that you can sell and you can get rid of, because that's the gig, right? You got to be able to sell this stuff eventually, okay? In this case, we're going to put a car wash on. We've got franchisees, we've got operators ready to go. So it's perfect. But let's say I just saw this piece of land. What would I do with it? Well, heck, man, I'd probably go and put another QSR, which means a quick service restaurant. So a fast food place. You put another fast food place. Maybe you put, I don't know. I would say a gas station, but it might be a little bit tight for a gas station. A little strip center, and there's always things you can put. So always have that, your wheels turning when you're out driving around looking at stuff, trying to figure out, what you can do things. Even as you're looking for if you're flipping residential lots, right, the bread and butter, if you're doing that, when you pass these, look around, think about things you can do with them, because, there's great money-making opportunities with these types of properties. So anyway, getting back to, I just wanted to reach out to you guys, because yesterday, some of you were asking me questions about, a lot of questions came in about what to say when the people are calling. Because if you remember, I talked about making sure that you put a sign on your property and making sure you have the properties advertised everywhere. And also I told you is that a lot of times when someone is selling something online, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have the property listed in all the other venues, all the other marketing channels that we know about. So it's never safe to assume that people know about all the other marketing channels, okay? And I was telling you a strategy that right now, especially in these times where there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of folks are worried about their jobs. Will they be able to keep their job? Will they get laid off? Will they get let go and so forth? This is a good way to pick up extra money. And if you follow that system I told you yesterday, that alone, if you just did that, you could replace your typical 9 to 5. Sorry, now you're not going to make the big bucks, the 6 and 7 figures you will flipping properties like this one, okay? But you still will do very well. And look, if you want to make $2-3 grand a weekend, you can do it any weekend on demand. It's easy. Because what you're doing is you're taking advantage of a market inefficiency where people are advertising, say, on Facebook their lot, and then they're not putting a sign on it, or they're not going ahead and putting it also in Zillow, or they're not putting it on Craigslist, and vice versa. You can see it on Craigslist. You go, you put it under contract, put it on Facebook, put it on Zillow, put your sign on the property. The two biggest sellers are your sign and Zillow. And Zillow is free, by the way. So speaking of Zillow, let's get right into it, because a lot of you are asking me, what do you say when the people call? And that's one of the biggest questions I'm always getting. People always, in our program, we have, I don't like to use the term scripts, but I like to call it a framework for the call. And because look, I don't really have a script. You call me, it's just a casual, hey bro, what's going on? Hey, how you doing, dude? It's just a very casual conversation, just like you're talking to a friend. And that's what I would implore you to do when you're talking to folks too. But have a framework in mind, have a destination, know where you want to take them. So even though we have what we call scripts in there, I don't really go by that because it's very robotic. You know, you want to be yourself. So whoever you're talking to, you want to be yourself. You want to talk to it in your style and your flow, the way that you typically talk to people. But one of the frameworks are Zillow. You're going to get realtors are going to call, because here's what happens. Let's say you got the lot, right? You put it on Zillow, and the customer, the end buyer, is probably not going to call you, because when they go on Zillow, it's gonna look like there's a realtor that has it listed. Even though you're the seller, it's your lot, right? And you're under contract, so it's what we call contract vendee. Okay, but that seller is gonna go to a realtor, because a realtor's paid Zillow anywhere from, say, $1,200 to $3,500 a month to be what they call the premier Zillow agent. So it looks like to the public, and you may even to you too right now, and so I'm telling you this, you might think that Zillow agent is the listing agent, but that's not how it works. They've paid to take the phone call. And so they're going to call you, and you're going to know right away, because the agent has no relationship with the buyer at all, other than the buyer just called them wanting the information. So now the realtor's calling you to get the information, to kind of be the go-between. So that's one of the frameworks you're going to have. Now that kind of a call is probably going to be a little more transactional, like, hey, will you pay me a commission? Okay, the answer is yes. You should pay the realtors a commission, right? Because they're going to bring you buyers. I pay them 4%. I pay them 4% on commercial land like this. I pay them 4% on the residential lots. And if it is, and if they bring me a deal, I pay them the deal they bring, of course. And then on new construction, now my new construction deal, I tell them I have 2% baked in. So that's my intro all the time. I've got 2% baked in for the realtors. Now technically they should get 3, but I've got a really good model that's really popular, and if a customer called them about it, I know they want it. And some models I'm a little bit tight on the margins, so I want to, make as much as I can. And then I have another one where I have a really nice margin, but I'm out there at 2, if people are accepting it, so that's fine. So we'll take it. So when you're gonna have the realtors calling you, so your framework is, look, you don't have to stress about it. A lot of you guys are always asking me about these calls. Well, keep this in mind. They're calling you. They want what you have, okay? It's not a sales call. There's nothing to sell. You're answering some questions. Yes, you want them to buy from you. You want to lead them to eventually where they buy. But just chill out, be yourself, and there's no reason to have like this call anxiety. And look, I know it's a thing, especially a lot of you that come from a sales background. When I graduated college, I had my dream job. I worked at Prudential Securities as a stockbroker. So I got the job before I even graduated. So it was a great situation. I was thrilled, but guess what we had to do a lot of? Cold calling. And a lot of that cold calling was out of like the yellow pages, right? So it sucked. And yeah, there was call anxiety. It wasn't fun to call. It was boring. It wasn't all that exciting. People hanging up on you, calling you names to this, that, and the other. A lot of rejection. But this is another story. This is inbound calls. They're coming to you. They've got something you want. And a lot of you guys, when you're calling to get property, you're flipping the script on someone. You're not calling to sell them something. You're calling them to give them money. So when you're in these frameworks, it's an easy call. It's very conversational. Be yourself. Go with your flow. Like if you guys know me and you talk to me a lot, then you know that I'm really casual. Okay, that's how I just like I'm talking to a friend. Right? We could talk about fishing. We could talk about football. We could talk about the games. We can talk about what's going on in the economy. We can talk about real estate, the area. Just stuff like that. I'm real chill, I'm real casual. Ask them, what they're interested in, what they like to do. I don't get into politics. I don't get into all that kind of stuff because, it's kind of pointless. And that's my gig is I'm here. I'm a capitalist. I'm here to make money, and that's what we do. So, but you're gonna get people calling you, and you're gonna get one of the types of calls is gonna be realtors. So the minute when a realtor calls, I know my framework is to stay on things like commissions. Yes, they're going to get a commission. Yes, they're going to be protected, especially if it's going to be something like a new construction deal. They're pretty much just going to pass that buyer right to me. So I'll just let them, assure them they're going to be covered. No worries. Register their buyer with me, and you're going to want to tell them the same type of thing too. Then always know the precursory things. Know your lot dimension, your zoning, your obviously the price. They're going to want to know the price. So know those kind of things. And when you're doing your pricing, make sure if you're going to advertise on places like Zillow, make sure you have a realtor commission baked into that, to your formula. And we teach you land banking millions, we show you all that stuff, but make sure you have that baked in so you're not short at the end and it's not coming out of your profit, right? So you want to make sure your profit's protected. So you've got that. I'm looking down a lot because I am in Florida. We have a lot of ants a lot of times. Sometimes it's snaky too. So so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So anyway, so we got that going on. So that's your framework when you get realtors calling. It's going to happen a lot, especially on Zillow. Like, that's their whole ecosystem, their whole infrastructure is set up that way. Not a lot of people know that, and that's why, I mean, it's a little bit annoying for me because I'll get these realtors calling and they have no relationship with the buyer, and they're asking all these questions, and I know they're just going between one or the other, and sometimes that gets a bit annoying. But what I do then, I take them to a link, to a bit.ly link that goes right to my house, and what I do is I'll actually collect a deposit right from the link. So that's a nice strategy also. Think about that. Your next call is going to get from a buyer direct, right? You get a sign. A lot of you saying, well, what do you say when they call you? Well, you just ask them you tell them about the property. Again, same thing. You want to know about your lot dimensions. You want to know the price, obviously, the zoning. If there's anything interesting that you might have to know, maybe if the lot has an odd shape, maybe if they're, a little bit loud. See, it's a good road. It's a busy, you guys are seeing that. I hope you can hear me okay. But it's a busy road. It's going to be a good spot, right? So go out and find spots like this. Join our program. Get into our site Locator program. You got to DM me, PM me. And, we'll talk about it. You have to be invited in. It's a higher level knowledge to get in it. But I'm going to tell you guys, it's an amazing opportunity. We're going to have car washes on every single corner all across the country. Car washes are going to be like the next McDonald's. You're going to see them everywhere. You're probably already starting. If you're in a bigger city, you're already seeing that now. We've got an army of people that are going out and finding them. And but these are the kind of spots you want to be in. So getting back to these phone calls, right? So you're going to want to have that conversation with them. Tell them a little bit about the area, why it's good. I like to tell them that they can put it in their IRA. They can put it's 401k rollover approved. I always say IRA approved, 401k rollover approved. Now, anything, heck, your car can be IRA rollover approved. Everything is, but just by telling them that, it lets them know that they have the option to do that, because a lot of folks don't know that. So I'm telling them something like that. I'm not selling. I'm not trying to push them. I am taking them on a little bit of a buyer journey, right? There's a place where I want them to go, which is eventually, either them looking at it, liking it, wanting to buy it, and I'm sending them a contract where I'm going to have them sign it. They're going to use something like, I use something called Sign now. It's like a DocuSign. You could use DocuSign. You could use something called HelloSign. There's a lot of apps out there that make it easy so they can electronically sign. It's better than telling someone, print it out and do all this. If you want to go out and meet them, for new construction, if they don't fill out the reserve form and actually pay right on my site, then I'm going to actually go out and meet them, which the majority of the time, that's what we're doing. Even after they pay, that's my sale. My sale is going out to meet them on site. Something like a car wash, there's going to be a lot of meetings. Okay, it's multi-millions of dollars. These are $4 or $5 million operations. So that's a different story. But so there's going to be many meetings. So so every call, the journey that you're taking that caller on is a little bit. Who's ultimately going to be your customer is going to be a little bit different. Okay. So now, just getting back to that journey. So now you've got them. You're going to explain to them. You're also going to coach them along the way. You're going to guide them along the way. You're going to lead them and tell them, hey, look, next thing is to go to the title company. You're going to explain to them what a title company is. It's not safe to assume everyone knows what a title company is when you're first. Excuse me, really loud. A lot of construction here. So you want to explain that to them. Hey, this is what the title company does. It's a third-party objective that, they ensure that the transaction's fair for both sides, okay? And I know a lot of folks do self-closings and all that. I don't do it. I tell you, never do a self-closing. I just think it's a lot of trouble down the road. It's not worth it. You can get sued later on. You could miss something. Someone down the road won't be able to sell something, especially if you're dealing with high-quality, good lots that people want. So you take them on that journey, explain what's going to happen, and then you get to the closing. So that's how the whole thing works. So when they're calling, you're also taking them on a journey, but you're guiding them through the process and through the steps, because most of the time the folks, they don't know. But is there a script and exact verbiage? No. I just have a framework. That's where I'm taking them. So that's your buyer framework, right? My new construction framework guy, like I said, most likely we're going to go out, we're going to meet. So I don't have a sales model. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet at a construction site we're building, or we're just going to go meet anywhere, at the lot, at a Starbucks, at Panera, wherever, So wherever it may be. So that's kind of like how your frameworks are going when your people are calling you and you're talking to them. Don't stress out about it. Be cool. Just be yourself, and it'll all work out. And listen, they may not buy it, right? You're going to get 10, 15, 20 calls. of people who aren't buying it. You're looking for that one. And I always say this, there's always one person for every property, okay? I don't care if you get 200 calls. There's that one buyer who's gonna come, okay? And you're gonna get a lot of ding-a-lings calling you too, okay? So you're gonna get some really crazy people calling you. That's just the gig. So if you've already out there and you're already advertising, you got your phone number out there in the world, you know what I'm talking about. And like I'll tell you, when I was in my late 20s, I was a stockbroker, I was in the financial game. I'd run ads, and you get calls from people. And now running ads in that world is a lot different. You had a compliance department, they had to prove it, and it was this whole crazy thing. And they were really expensive too back then. So you're running these ads, and you get people calling. It's kind of normal, the calls. It's more businessy, it's a little more savvy, a little more educational. You don't get a lot of these, but now you start, and then I got into the real estate game. When you start running real estate ads, forget about it. It's like they let everyone out of the cuckoo's nest. I mean, you get some real ding-a-lings calling you, and that's just gonna happen. They're gonna complain about your price, or some are gonna say your price is too low. Some are gonna be neighbors complaining your price is too low, you're bringing down the neighborhood. Someone's gonna accuse you of ruining the area with development. Some people are gonna say, why do I need to build with you if you don't have a sales model? And then you're, hey, you shouldn't, don't, right? That's easy, just tell them, hey, don't, So, some people are gonna complain about politics, they're gonna, either side of it, they'll go on forever. Some are going to complain about their ex. So you're going to get some real nutty calls out there. So be prepared, but have a lot of fun. Have fun with the gig when you're doing this. And the other questions that you guys were asking me about was the sign yesterday. My sign is what's called the Metal Max sign. You can just call your local sign shop. Don't sweat the details of it. Don't sweat details of this stuff. Like I said, if you just go out and get like a $7 Home Depot corrugated sign, put that out there, that's fine. If you want to go with something, you have it printed up, cool. Or you could do something like they do over here, where they get these, and we do these too. We do these for the car washes. We do these for new construction. You get your 4x4s. There's 2x2s or 4x. Yeah, you get your 4x4s. You get your big sign, and you do that. You show what's coming. So you can do all that stuff too. Yeah, that was my battery again. So anyway, all right, guys. I just wanted to share that with you real quick because I'm out here, and hope that helps you guys. The most important thing is just jump in and do it. That's the main thing. Just jump in. Done is the new perfect. Jump in, do it. Talk to people. Get your properties under contract, get them out there. Don't stress over calls, don't stress who you're talking about. And you know what? Let's say you're just brand new, you're just starting, you're flubbing everything, you don't even know. So if you don't know the answer, just tell them, hey, I'm not really sure, I'll get back to you, let me know, And you can just say, let me talk to my partner, let me talk to my spouse, let me talk to whoever, make someone up. Just tell you got to talk to someone, you'll get the answers that they need. And that's it. And by the way, one thing, speaking of ding-a-lings, okay, so I get calls from people. Someone wanted me to do a whole study of the area, economic impact, how many jobs are coming, how many jobs are leaving, median income range, all this baloney, right? I'm like, dude, this is like one of the hottest markets in like the history of real estate right now. I mean, I don't have any time for that. By the time I even open up my computer to even do that, this is gonna be sold. So if you wanna buy it, buy it. If not, I'm not making a book report for you. So you're gonna get stuff like that too. So you don't have to bend over backwards, right? When live your life, do it your way, operate your gig the way you want to, but just have a bunch of fun doing it. And hey man, I'm here to encourage you, help you guys any way you can. If you have any questions, PM, DM below, comment below and let me know. And yeah, I'm here for you guys. So guys, talk to you later. Have a great day. Keep on crushing it. And remember, you're just one flip away. Ciao. The only thing is if I could ever turn these things off. See what happens is it gets so bright, and then at the end, I can't see the end button.